You're listening to Honey, We Made a Disney Podcast. Two friends since first grade, now dads reliving the Disney movies we grew up on with our own kids. I'm Eddie Ferguson.
And I'm JB Wagner, and on today's episode, we get cool usernames for Snake Chat as we review First Kid. But first, Eddie, glad to have you back in the States. How are you and the family doing now?
I'm doing well. As you can see from my appearance, if you are watching on YouTube with us, I am freshly returned from Ecuador. That's immediately what you thought, right?
Yeah, exactly. Is that a sarape? What are we talking here?
This is a poncho.
Poncho. Okay.
Poncho.
A fabric poncho, warm, not a tarp.
Made from llama wool.
Llama wool. Are they indigenous to Ecuador?
You were curious what type of wool. It is llama wool.
Okay.
Yes, no, this was actually a gift from a pastor down there from the Quechua people, which is an indigenous people of Ecuador. So yes, it was a gift of honor because I'm special and cool.
Over in Ecuador. You're a big deal in Ecuador on all the posters.
I'm really not, but yes. Yes, so I was in Ecuador last week. That is why we did not have an episode last week. And so Sarah was trying to help Lewis understand where Daddy was because I was gone for a whole week. Mm-hmm. And so got out the globe. And we, because I'm a geography nerd, so we have a globe in the house. I know you youngins, you youths out there no longer have globes in the house, but it's important for moments just like this. So she was learning, and every time I got on the phone or, FaceTime with him, he was, Ecuador. How Ecuador. And he would go around, he was telling everybody, Daddy in Ecuador. Yes. So yes, it's good to be back though.
I saw the photo. I saw the photo on Instagram and that you texted us.
Yes, I not gonna lie, I cried in the airport as I do. And because as soon as I came out of security at Indianapolis Airport, like he just bolted, ran, gave me like the world's biggest hug, and I just lost it. Lost it. So yes. And Ellie started walking while I was gone.
So you feel bad?
Well, she took like one or two steps like right before I left. So I got to kind of see what you would call like first steps.
Yeah.
And then she kind of was getting a little more comfortable while I was gone. But Sarah is saying that like what she's doing now, like as soon as I got back, now she's just like boom, all over the place walking. Sarah was like, yeah, she wasn't doing that. She would just take a few steps.
No, she had dad.
Now that Daddy's home, she's like, okay, I can do this. Let's go for it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So glad to see everybody united again.
Yes.
And
I'm going to wear this poncho the whole time. Nice thing is you can like keep arms up underneath it. It's like wearing a blanket. It's like the original Snuggie.
But I don't see why you would like that because you're a very expressive hand person.
But then I can get my hands out here and then it's like, boom, got all my hand usage. I can kind of talk over here. I can talk over here. Ba, 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 ba. And then when I don't want them, boom, underneath. It's great. Except for we climbed a mountain over. So Quito is at over 9,500 feet. And we took a cable car up to 13,500 feet, which that's high, especially coming from Indiana where we're like pushing 100 feet above sea level.
Yeah. On a good day.
And I got really cold up there. So I busted out my poncho. And the problem is it was also really windy. So you'd be like walking along and then all of a sudden it would do like this.
Flip like, over on your head.
Where am I? What's going on? Then you're like, ah.
Like you're in a little
then it'd fly back over.
fort or something.
Yes. So
has Lewis tried on your poncho yet?
No, he doesn't know it exists yet. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what he thinks of this. I'll send you a picture. But yes, we're glad to be back. And while I was gone, we had some rather big news come out for all of us Star Wars fans and Disney Parks fans. For those of you who don't know, Disney has been building a Star Wars hotel in Orlando next to their Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is where the Galaxy's Edge theme park area is located there. And in essence, it has been described as a cruise ship on land because it is an all-inclusive experience. It's a 2-night experience. No windows or anything in this hotel. It is all like these like an illusion to make it look like you're looking out on space.
What?
So and it's a completely immersive experience. Like you get lightsabers that actually extend out. You do lightsaber training. You have to decide whether you're on the light side or the dark side, and you have to work all these different missions. Part of your experience is you get a all-inclusive like experience out at Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars land there. And it is like live your Star Wars adventure. It is like cosplay to the nth degree of immersion. Nothing has ever been, ever created to this level of detail and immersion into any story, let alone Star Wars. So it was highly anticipated. How much is this going to cost? JB, you've got the article there in front of you. Did you see how much 2 nights, 2 days, right? This is a slightly under 48 hours.
Well, you have to pay about $100 per hour.
$100 per hour.
$4,809 for 2 nights accommodation. So it is split that in half.
And
it's $2,000
and all of your
a person.
food. So all of your food's included.
It's about $1,000 a night per person.
This is just 2 adults.
2 adults, and then I think it goes up to the $5,200 if you add a kid, $5,999 if there's a kid, and a third adult in the room. So 3 adults, 1 kid. I'm confused.
No. If there's a third adult or a kid, if there's 3 people in the room.
Okay. Oh, if it's 5 okay, gotcha.
It goes up to like over $6,000 for 2 adults and 2 kids. So let's just say you and your wife and your 2 kids would like to go on this said Star Wars adventure. It would be over $6,000 for 48 hours. Just to put this into perspective for you, you would be paying for 2 nights of accommodation for the 4 of you what it costs 7 months of living in my house. I'm just saying, I got a pretty nice basement with a big screen TV. We can watch Star Wars on loop for 7 months.
I think people are getting a better deal by actually,
Here's the crazy. It is a lot of money, and I have a feeling like
it's sold out, and probably.
It's got to be. And what's the crazy thing is these are like the basic cheap cabins because it looks like a cruise ship cabin, like the pictures and stuff that you see.
Yeah,
like it's small. It's not fancy. It's not fancy. This is just the baseline entry. It only goes up from here because they have suites, of course, and they've got this, that, and the other.
Well, I'm looking right now, and even in this this hotel room, the kids' bunk beds are in the same room as their parents. They have somehow tricked us. They've tricked us, Eddie, into crappy accommodations, but you're getting the experience of being in a crappy cruise liner in Star Wars. So therefore, you pay out the nose for it.
You're okay with it. You think it's all right.
Somebody's okay with it. I don't know that. I don't know. Like I'd have to have a lot of money to throw away. That's a used car.
I love Star Wars. I love Disney World. But man.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
just no.
The way we do Disney, that's like, that would be like 7 weeks at Disney World, the way we do it.
Because you guys stay at the campground.
We go camping. Yes. Like we are.
You do the whole buy all the Target gift card, buy the Target Disney cards and get 5% off of those.
Because we love staying as long as we can. We love the campground. It's wonderful. That would be more than 7 weeks. It would depend on how we hit it. We could almost do like a full 2 months.
You should try it. You should try
it. I would stay. I would do that. Oh yeah. If I could get 2 months out of it, 2 months versus 2 days. Golly. So, yes, I was shocked. I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked. Like I'm sitting there going, yes, of course, people will pay for this. So of course they're going to charge this outrageous amount. I'm not one of those people, but somebody will.
It's funny because we all assumed, I will be dying to go to the land when it opened up a few years ago, in which people were. This is just like on a whole nother level.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is crazy town is what this is. But that is not why you are here, to hear us talk and complain about the expensive nature of high class Disney people, which we are not.
We know who they all came for. They came for Sinbad.
They came for Sinbad. We all came for Sinbad. And in fact, we're going to go into that now as we review a movie I forgot existed until it was on our list, which is First Kid.
Cue the Disney sound effect.
Okay, so our IMDb description for First Kid is this. A former boxer turned Secret Service agent is assigned to protect the president's son, who seems determined to make life difficult for his new protector. I have a problem with this.
A problem?
I have a problem with this IMDb description because a former boxer turned circuit, like that's what you're going to lead with? That's like,
it's like a throwaway line.
It's a moment. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it used to be Sammy Sims.
No, yeah. And he doesn't play it up until he actually goes to the gym for literally one montage scene, for one montage moment.
Wow, you got to the montage that quickly. I was going to hold on to that one for a second. Just revel in our love of montage.
Oh gosh. The jump roping at the end, yeah. As they're panning out. No, the fact they didn't say anything about the fact that he's a quick-witted, lovable, but sarcastic guy who always gets in trouble. Like, it could have used any one of these. You have, other than like determined to make life difficult for his new protector, it kind of gives you a sense it's going to be a comedy, but there should have been something instead of a former boxer. Come on. Yeah. Come on, Disney. We expect better from you.
Yes. They also, the whole determined to make life difficult for his protector. It kind of makes it sound like the whole, and even the title, right? First Kid makes it sound like a lot of it is set on the kid, which in a small way it is. But let's be honest, this movie would not work at all. There would be no heart. There'd be no humor if it wasn't for Sinbad.
Sinbad is this movie. This is a no-name kid. He
carries this movie. The no-name kid. Everything else is just there to support what Sinbad's doing.
It's so bad. It feels like they had to rope in Zachary Ty Bryan from Home Improvement. He's on the poster. He's not in very much of this film. He is a minor character to just get some.
But did your wife have a little? I mean, did she get a little warm?
She didn't watch this. Like, she didn't watch this at all. She was JTT, so she was team only? JTT. Okay, so you can't be both. You can't be team Edward and team whatever the other guy's name is. I already forget. Jacob, team Jacob.
Twilight and Home Improvement having a connection only with us. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what makes this movie for me. There was an element, I think I agree with you. I forgot that it even existed until it came up. I didn't even remember watching this as a kid, even though I know that I did. I know there's no way that I missed this. But I clearly had not watched it much because I didn't remember any of the antics or moments.
I have no nostalgia for this. I remember nothing that happened in this film. I've never seen this. This is my first time ever watching this film, and it lived up to the reason that I had never seen it because nobody saw this.
But you thought it was at least how do I phrase this? Joyful? Did you? I mean, come on. You're
stretching.
There was a little bit. I enjoy the smart aleck, quick talking comedy of Sinbad. I thought this was enjoyable.
Do explain to me what was enjoyable and like I'm having a great time watching
like
this
any
thing.
moment. It's obvious that it's just Sinbad riffing. Like there's no script here.
There's no script here.
And it's just like, just kind of like coming up with all the like crazy little things and reasons why they've done this or that. There's a little part of me that really just enjoys that style of humor. I'm not saying that this is, like comedic genius or anything like that.
No.
But it was enjoyable. I was like, okay, this is somewhat funny.
You were also probably more a fan of like that Vince Vaughn kind of like funny guy that just keeps talking until he wears you down.
Great connection. Yes, I do. I love the smart aleck, quick, like won't shut up because maybe I'm like that. I don't know. Kind of talking guy.
Did you feel seen in this while you were watching it?
Somebody knows me.
I did write down one line. Can you guess which line I wrote down that he said?
I don't know if I can.
Sir, this is a black tie affair. Well, I'm a black man. I'm black and I'm wearing a tie. So
I did love the running theme of wearing funny ties.
He had the craziest tie. I was waiting.
So 90s.
He didn't pull out my dad's favorite, which was Jerry Garcia ties, but
I didn't make that connection till now. Your dad always had crazy ties.
He loves Jerry Garcia ties. That's his mode. So he never pulled that out. I wasn't quite his brand, but yes, there was a plethora of interesting ties.
Yeah. I thought you would enjoy the overly simplistic chat board Snake Chat.
Snake Chat. It said like Teen Nat or something. Something like right next to it. It was like something special on the internet, but Snake Chat.
But you remember like early AOL days, and it was so rudimentary, and you had your AIM name.
Mm-hmm.
What was your AIM name?
I think it was WAG155.
WAG155.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah. I was, you ready for this? Bass Picker 2000.
Oh, I remember that. There's so many memories coming back to my head right now.
And I remember my parents picked it out for me. And I was like, no, everybody's going to think it's Bass Picker.
Yeah, no, that brought me back to early days. Also, the another appearance of virtual reality. We had that on a previous film.
Blank Check.
Blank Check.
Which was recommended by Disney Plus the second I finished this movie.
Of course it was. This is the same style of film.
To which I've got to say, like, I'm skipping ahead, like, a little bit with our, like, how would this movie be different in 2020? They just don't make movies like this. Like, they're not making... I think I've referenced this before, like the idea of like singles and doubles. Disney now only produces movies that they think are going to be home runs, like Jungle Cruise level movies, big budget. But in the 90s,
if they make it something else, they now goes to Disney Plus.
Right. And
I think that Ulysses and whatever.
Ulysses and Flora, which, and in part, that's one of the things that I'm enjoying the most about Disney Plus is that they're at least trying some singles and doubles again. It's just going to Disney Plus where they're not, to them it's lower risk. Now, they're not always phenomenal movies, by no means. But this is how we get, really fun cult classics like a Hocus Pocus.
Which they are bringing back.
Which they're making a sequel for Disney Plus.
Is that coming out? That's coming out this fall?
I don't know when it's coming out.
I'll have to go look at that.
Yeah.
We've gone this far and we haven't talked. We haven't talked about our West Wing
connection. What?
Danny Kincannon in a role I've never seen him play before. A bad guy who's also a slapsticky bad, like an overly bad guy.
Well, he's just like a drunk bad guy at the beginning. And then by the end, he's kind of like lost it a little bit.
He's losing it because his kid took his job away from him. I don't know that I enjoyed this version of Danny Kincannon.
No, yes and no. But yeah, I mean, for this movie, he was a good bad guy for this movie. Like, if we would have if you would have gotten like a Gary Oldman bad guy in this movie, I would have been like, ooh, too much.
No, too good of acting.
This movie doesn't deserve a Gary Oldman bad guy. But this movie I can't remember the actor's name, so we'll just call him a Danny Kincannon bad guy. This movie deserved a Danny Kincannon bad guy.
The best was at the end where he's got the sweaty forehead and his hair and his receding hairline is just like kind of just gross. It's just sweaty and gross.
The whole final sequence.
It's bad. It's so.
I just couldn't take. So one, you have him kind of like deranged, right? Like dragging the kid through the mall. No one in their right mind would just let that happen. Like,
even in the 90s, no.
Not right. Even in the 90s, right? Then, okay, so let's back up. Let's back up here a little bit because this moment is so good. So you've got the kid in the VR. You've got Sinbad like trying to track him down because of the necklace thing or whatever. I want to know the director. You know exactly where I'm going. The director's choice to represent the bad guy in POV camera. Like, and it is, the camera works a little deranged, right? It's a little sporadic as it's like going through the mall or whatever. And I don't know about you, but it's like, there's no doubt in my mind the bad guy is the former Secret Service guy.
There's only one person it could have been.
There's only one person this could be. Unless you're just going to like totally invent some random bad guy out of the blue.
We're going to introduce a brand new character.
No, like you're not going to do this.
This isn't Scream 2, where they just randomly said, I'm the mom of the student that died at the very beginning, where you're like, we didn't know about you at all this entire movie.
Doesn't work, right? Basic Scooby-Doo rules. You've got to be introduced to who the bad guy is at the top of the episode, right? So they're like trying to hide it from you, like, who could the bad guy be? And so we get this weird POV through the whole mall. Then my other favorite piece to all of this is the guy in the wheelchair, like trying to like get through, and then goes down the escalator and like shoots out the end of it. Oh,
and then get you nice and far away from that, so you didn't have to look at the physics of him going down an escalator quickly.
Right. You're like, how did this work out? What exactly happened here? Oh my. My other kind of favorite little moment is kind of a classic 90s ending where, his tension with his parents the whole time, they just don't know, understand who I am, kind of classic stuff. And then at the end, we're all playing roller skate hockey.
Mm-hmm.
We're all playing street hockey, and it's all good.
As it pulls out, and then you see the credits roll as he's still talking about who knows what.
Right. And even the president and the first lady, they're playing street hockey out there with their roller skates and pads on. It's like, okay, all right, sure. And everything's cool. Everything's good.
We're back to normal. We're back to square one.
Yes.
I wrote down some other random things and one-liners from this film. I gave the one that was my favorite Sinbad one was when the president's wife interrupts him and all the people are leaving and he goes, "Guess that nuclear treaty can wait."
Yes.
It's so bad. So bad. When he says, "Hey, sir, what's it like taking a bullet?" He says, "You don't forget getting shot. It hurts really bad." It's so bad. Also,
the writing there.
The writing is so bad. The mom, when they're at the mall, "You're going to be the happiest kid back to school shopping." And then, but the probably one of the worst sequences. It's just the cameo by Bill Clinton, who would have been president at this time. He was currently president. So I don't know what he's supposed to be, like a former president that's like calling in, but they got the little tiny TV monitor in the president's in the Oval Office, and they have someone dubbing over as Bill Clinton saying, "Hey, did you find that saxophone? You looking for that saxophone?" And then it's him signing off, but he looks like he's on the air somewhere with a real sequence of Bill Clinton. It was just on another level bad. Like this is what this movie is.
Yeah, it I didn't even like look into production or anything like that to see if it made a decent amount of money or not, because I just didn't care. But Disney had to have. There was no.
Speaking of Sinbad, Eddie, this is something my wife brought up, and I feel like we have to acknowledge it because I don't know that we have any other Sinbad movies in our collection in here. Have you heard about the Mandela Effect? It's this actual scientific research that there are people that all believe something happened that didn't happen. And they kind of pointed to the fact that a bunch of people said they saw on live TV that Nelson Mandela had died in prison in the 80s, but it hadn't happened at all. The Mandela Effect applies to this film because another movie came out at this time that everybody is convinced that Sinbad was in, called Shazam.
Yes.
Which is not a real movie. Kazam is a horrible movie by Shaquille O'Neal. And everybody in the 90s, like a large group of people, swear they watched a genie movie starring Sinbad called Shazam that came out at the same time as Kazam by Shaquille O'Neal. And everyone's like, oh, Kazam's just a rip-up of Shazam. But there never was a Shazam, a.k.a. the Nelson Mandela Effect.
My mind's a little blown.
Your mind's a little blown?
Okay, so this is the first I'm hearing of this. I totally get the whole Shazam thing. Now there is a movie titled Shazam.
Yes, and it's based off of a DC comic, yes.
Right. But yes.
There is like loose rememberings of, I thought there was a Sinbad movie where he was a genie.
Yeah.
That was similar to Shazam. It didn't happen. There is none. You can't find a copy anywhere. And in fact, College Humor, the YouTube show, did a spoof on the 20th anniversary of the movie that the 30th anniversary or whatever of the movie that doesn't exist. And Sinbad has played it up too. It was just like, you guys are all crazy. And he's like, I will give $1,000 to anybody who can find a copy of this film.
But there's people who like swear it actually exists.
Swear, like my wife, like she was like, there. I swear I feel like I've seen that movie, but it's not real. It's not a real film. Shazam was not a real film.
No, and I remember Shazam. Yes, because I remember going and even seeing that in theaters. But wow,
so you need to look that up. Nelson Mandela, the Mandela Effect.
I will.
Shazam. It's a good little black hole.
Another movie that Sinbad was in, and that is probably one of my favorites, is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember that one?
That's right. He is in that film.
Yeah. Probably his best film, if I would go so far as to say.
I don't know.
Good Burgers is up there, but
yeah, I don't know. I need to look at his IMDb right now because
he was definitely, his strongest streak was the mid to late 90s, and
Coneheads.
I mean, he's a stand-up.
There's some interesting. I have not kept up. Moesha. He's on Moesha. Oh, there's a lot of random things in here. Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco.
He's one of the dogs.
One of the dogs.
Yeah.
Aliens for Breakfast, Meteor, Coneheads.
Yeah.
So random. Yeah, interesting. Oh, the Red Fox Show and Cosby Show. He kind of broke out onto there. Interesting. Well, I feel like I've just taken a very interesting little detour here through a life that I completely forgot about.
And I mean, we have small boys. He's in Planes. Did you ever see Planes?
Oh, my son loves that. The
Cars ripoff by Disney Animation Studios.
I feel like it was better than I was told it was going to be.
Yeah, it was.
It went way under the radar.
Yeah,
way under the
really
radar.
Loves it. But yeah, it's in there as well. He's in that as well.
So Eddie, do you have any rating for this film? Any fruit snack rating to ready to release?
Well, for what it's worth, Rotten Tomatoes gives it a whopping 20%.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think in that spirit, I would give it, I think I'm going to give it 2 fruit snacks. Like, it wasn't unbearable. Like, I couldn't even watch it, but I definitely don't want to ever watch it again anytime soon.
I'm going with a solid 1.
Okay. I figure that's where you would go.
Yeah. I skipped through moments of this film that I was getting bored with. Kind of skimmed a little bit.
It had some solid montage moments, though. Come on.
Good bit of montage moments, but that couldn't save it from the one droll that this film was. I feel like we've had a lot of ones recently. Looking over at our list here, which you can check out at honeywemade.com. I'm just kind of looking back, and yeah, Operation Dumbo Drop, Man of the House. There's some Homeward Bound 2. I know we fought a lot about James and the Giant Peach.
We did.
It's been some rough, and then it's a lot of high ones and low ones. So you got the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and James and the Giant Peach, Homeward Bound 2,
A Kid
Muppet Treasure Island, Toy Story, The Big Green. It's been 96 and 95. Woo. What a roller coaster. And we only have 2 more films left for this year. We've got next week, as long as we are planning to still record next week, D3, The Mighty Ducks. So we're going to finish off our first trilogy that we've finished on this year.
What other trilogy have we started?
I feel like we've had at least one other. Didn't we have something that was like the second? Oh, Homeward Bound 2.
Oh, there we go.
We had Homeward Bound 2. I feel like there's Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Oh no, never mind. Did we finish that series?
We have one more to go.
Honey, we shrunk ourselves. Right? That's the last one. Okay, so we still have that one to go. So there's still some time. Actually, I don't even see it on our list. Maybe because it went straight to DVD, we're not doing it.
Yeah, it went straight to DVD, so we didn't do it.
Oh, goodness. Oh, also, I guess 101 Dalmatians live action probably counts as a quasi-sequel. But anyways, any other final words for us, Eddie, as we depart this review of First Kid?
Careful who you talk to on chat boards, boys and girls.
Snake chat.
Just especially on Snake Chat. You should know that slimy, slithering people are on Snake Chat.
I wonder if there's a Snake Chat somewhere, but for Harry Potter fans. But for Harry Potter fans.
Oh, for Harry Potter fans.
Were you just talking parceltongue?
Parceltongue.net.
Parceltongue.net.
Anyway. This is what, for whatever reason, it reminded me. Oh gosh, all of the dating app ads that you get on Hulu. I don't know what it is about people who watch Hulu, but apparently there's like tons of dating apps. And Sarah and I just sit here and laugh at it. And there's one just for single Christians called what is it called?
Christian Mingle?
No, it's like Upward or something really weird like that. And it starts with like some kid who's maybe all of 20 that's like, where's all my single Christians at?
Dear God.
Yes.
What have we done?
So I feel like parceltongue.net would be some like cheesy dating app for Harry Potter fans that have been sorted into Slytherin.
My wife told me that I needed to get a Harry Potter tattoo because I've got a bunch of other Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, some other things on here.
I always felt like the owl, though, was kind of like
I tried to tell her that.
Yes,
it's
her.
It's for her, but it's got some Harry Potter feel to it. But she was like, no, this isn't exactly Harry Potter. You need to get something like that. So I told her, well, I'll just get the Dark Mark, and she was not open to that idea.
Aren't you a Hufflepuff? You can't turn bad.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
What are you?
I'm a Gryffindor.
Are you Are we both Gryffindors? That would make sense.
Why would we be anything other than Gryffindor?
I don't know. I'm the only one in my family who's Gryffindor.
Why are you a Gryffindor but your family isn't?
Because I don't know. All of my family is either... My niece is Slytherin.
Based on what?
They're going to love the Pottermore test. The Pottermore test.
Oh, okay. I was like, just in general, I thought people like Gryffindor better, but you're saying
I think my youngest nephew is a Gryffindor. But my oldest is definitely a Hufflepuff. Sarah's a Hufflepuff. Yeah. I think Eli and I are going to be the only Gryffindors in our family.
Well, there you go.
And they're going to listen to this, and they're going to love that I'm bringing this up.
Shout out to the Eddie's nieces and nephews for listening, for being some of ours, getting our volume up.
Yes. So there you go. Of course. Yeah. I'm sorry. There are these subtleties with the Harry Potter houses, right? Because it's not exactly like personality test science stuff here. It's a little desire there too.
Little desire. Well,
but we would be the Harry and Ron.
Who's Harry? Who's Ron?
We would take turns.
This is very helpful of you. I don't even know what the right word is for it. Very political, very good.
Yes.
But anyways, thanks for listening to another episode.